Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're coming at you live here because we got some breaking news. Maxx Crosby has agreed to a 4-year contract extension, over $95 million, $53 million guaranteed. I first off want to give a major shout out to my dude Crosby because he was the very first Raiders player to ever reach out to me. I knew he was going to be a special guy coming in the 4th round out of Eastern Michigan. Has always worked his freaking tail off. He's got the shield tatted on him, and I want you to go ahead and show my guy some love. Start spamming 98 down in the comments section. I know today is my off day, but I saw this news go down. I also knew it was going to happen. But you know what? I was excited when I did officially get the word and the overall numbers. I thought that Crosby was going to get $21 million a year. I had him projected at $50 million, so I was a little bit off. But hey, he got a little bit extra money, and I'm never going to be mad about that for him. So major shout out here to A-Dude, Jose Ramiro. Assmaster, it's literally somebody's name. Quinn Dogs, Gregory. We got Juan Hernandez. Hey, dude, shout out to David Zahn. I saw you already getting active down there in the comments. What's going to be happening here on today's show is I'm going to be breaking down everything that goes in to the Maxx Crosby extension. I'll also talk about some other players that could potentially get extended. Yesterday on the show, I talked how, all right, there's 5 players that could end up getting a brand new deal. Crosby was number 1 on that list. We're going to be breaking down a ton of stuff, and then, yeah, we're going to party. We're going to celebrate here a little bit. So let me know, guys, what is your one-word reaction to the contract extension news? I was going to say hard work. Is that one word? Because for me, the moment that Crosby walked in, the moment that he did that, he broke his hand in the preseason game, and like you knew right away that Max was going to be one of those special guys that laid it all out there for you. Then he ended up getting the tattoo of the shield. I talked to Max, and one of the very first things he ever said to me was, I want to be a Raider for life. And everything that he has ever done is showing me that, you know what, he really truly believes that. He's a young player under the age of 25 years old. I actually think that this is a good deal for the Raiders from top to bottom because not only is he a leader on the field, he's a leader off the field. So I'm going to go ahead and say hard work because I really truly believe if you work your ass off, he's that guy that's going to go ahead and prove that. He wasn't given all these God-given abilities. He's a very athletic person, but he'll tell you, he works harder than anyone else out there. So we got Chris Strickland says finish. TGZ says justified, dedicated, deserved. Now we got a lot of Watsons coming in. We'll probably talk about Deshaun Watson because there is some new news around him. He's a free man and he can sign or get traded. Not sign. Can get traded anywhere he wants to go. We got GOAT, dedication, a brother, deserving. More people are saying deserving. Remember, if you want to get a shout out here on the show, all you got to do is go ahead and super chat. And if you super chat, we'll drink. We'll have a good time here. And the first one's coming in is from the greatness of the Raiders. What a week. Yeesh. And it hasn't even started yet. Let's just get that really, really clear. Free agency, y'all, is when stuff gets really rocking and rolling. And I'm telling you what, we're going to be going live for every single big-time signing here on the Raiders Report. So if the Raiders go out and they get a DJ Chark, if they go out and sign a cornerback like JC Jackson, we're going to be breaking it all down for you. I saw another super chat come in here from Anthony Morales. It says, so basically 5-year, 140, 20, not quite. So Crosby was scheduled to make $4.2 million this upcoming season. So essentially it's 5 years, maybe like $100 million. So $200 million per year. Like that's $20 million per year. Promise, I haven't drank anything yet today. So what we're going to be doing here on today's show is I'm usually off on Fridays, but my guy Jeremy Chugs, he was ready. He was eager to get this party started. So if you guys send in a $5 super chat, we'll go ahead and we'll drink some beers. Every $100, we'll take a fireball shot. Every 500 likes, we'll do a fireball shot. And if we get to 1,000 in super chats, well, I got the boot ready to rock and roll here as well. I don't know about y'all. I was really excited to see the news go down about Maxx Crosby getting extended. And if you're excited too, I want you to go ahead and like the video right now. I mean, there's a lot of players that work their tail off. There's a lot of players that when they come into the league, you don't know if they're necessarily going to make it work. But Crosby was a dude that I had a lot of confidence in from top to bottom, no doubt about it. I know he was a 4th-round pick out of Eastern Michigan. I know he had 1 year left on his deal, but $53 million at 98.98 for 4 years. Yeah, I don't know about you. I was pretty happy about that. So what's going to happen now, y'all, is we're going to go ahead. We're going to be breaking down all the latest going on around Crosby. If you have any questions, if you want to get anything, I don't know, thrown at me, please don't be shy. Go ahead and do so. It would be pretty dope, I think, from top to bottom. So once I get the thumbs up, we'll get the cut started. We'll be going ahead and we'll breaking it down. Vic says, cheers, bro. Cheers to you, Vic. I appreciate you. So we're going to talk about Crosby for the next 10 minutes. Get a nice little cut out about that, and then we'll go ahead and do a mailbag like we usually do. Hashtag Raiders, or you can go ahead and super chat. Let me get a sip of my beer. And then, oh, I like that. I just saw somebody put up a live poll of grade the Maxx Crosby extension, A, B, C, D, or F. If you haven't voted on that yet, please go ahead and do so. I'm getting the thumbs up right now, so now we're going to get into this Maxx Crosby extension cut. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're coming at you live here with some breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders have gone out and extended edge rusher Maxx Crosby. I've been talking about this for weeks here on this show because I knew it was going to happen. I knew that Crosby was going to be the Raiders' #1 priority this offseason, and he absolutely should be. He's been an absolute monster since being a 4th-round pick out of Eastern Michigan in 2019. I know he had 1 year left on his deal, but he gets a huge 4-year, $98.98 million contract extension with $53 million guaranteed. He also had that 1 year left on his deal at 4.2. So now that I'm thinking about that super chat I had earlier, yeah, it's about 5 years, $104 million. So you're sitting somewhere around the $20 million range per year, which I think is a really good value type of deal. Considering the fact of Harold Landry, he went 5 years, $82. Landry's good, but Crosby, the numbers that he's been able to put up the past few seasons, I definitely think this warrants that. This is the very first person that went ahead and put it on Twitter. It's from Tom Pelissero. The Raiders are signing Pro Bowl defensive end Maxx Crosby to a 4-year, $98.98 million extension with $95 million in new money and $53 million guaranteed, a massive payday for a rising star. So what I want you guys to do is go down in the comments right now, and let's go back to school. I want you to grade the extension of Maxx Crosby, A, B, C, D, or F. And you know what? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So when you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, I want you to scroll on down and let me know. I want you to grade the extension of Maxx Crosby. When I really think about the extension of Crosby, I'm going to go ahead and give it an A grade because I've said multiple times, when you have a player like this, you need to make him a Raider for life. Not only did he get it tatted on his arm, he's just been that dog in the locker room, in the weight room, out on the football field. Let's look at his first 3 seasons in the National Football League. This past year, 56 tackles, 30 quarterback hits, 8 sacks. And there's going to be a lot of people out there like, oh, he's only had 8 sacks last season. The Raiders blitzed dead last year, okay? Dead last in blitz rate. However, we're #1 in pressure rate, and Maxx Crosby led all NFL players in quarterback hits with 30. In 2020, he had 39 tackles, 13 quarterback hits, 7 sacks. He's also doing this with 3 different defensive line coaches, essentially. And then as a rookie, 47 tackles, 14 quarterback hits. He had 10 sacks and 4 forced fumbles. I'm going to read off some names of rookies who have had 10 sacks and 4 forced fumbles in their career since 1991. Mark Anderson, Terrell Suggs, Julius Peppers, Dwight Freeney, Javon Kearse, Mike Kroll. I don't know about y'all, a lot of big name and a lot of Hall of Famers right there, and Max is on his way to being a Hall of Famer. So he's entering year 4 now, which I can't wait to see what this man's able to do in Patrick Graham's system. So how many sacks for Maxx Crosby this upcoming season? Remember, he had 8 last season, 7 the year before that, and 10. I get the fact that they have Unique Ngakoue and a 3-4 system. Really curious to see if he gets more one-on-ones. It's definitely going to matter on who the defensive tackle is going to be. Does Malcolm Kuntz step up? Is somebody like Carl Nassib able to take that next step? But when you're talking about 15 from Juan Hernandez, 15 from Darth Vader, I haven't seen a single number that isn't in double digits. If you're telling me right now I can get a player who's under 25 years old, and get double-digit sacks, it's worth every single penny, especially with the salary cap about to go up. Now, this was my Crosby contract extension. I had him at 5 years, 105 total, average of 21 mil, and 50 million guaranteed. I don't know about you. When I see the numbers that ended up getting broken down, I mean, right now he's going to be somewhere around essentially 104 million for 5 years. He's making about 21 mil, and he got 53 million guaranteed. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't think I know what I'm talking about, but I put in way too much time, do way too much homework to know or to not know what's going on around the silver and black. So I was pretty close. I thought I did okay, but I got a lot of people throwing down there in the comment section their thoughts on this Maxx Crosby contract extension, which brings me to this point. I know there's a lot of other YouTube channels out there. I know there's a lot of other content creators, and I know there's a lot of people that try to do this for a living, but personally, I don't think anybody does what the Raiders Report does. So this is the time of the year, whether it's a trade that goes down, whether it's a contract extension, whether it is a big-time signing in free agency, the Raiders Report has got you covered. Your one-stop shop, everything going on around the silver and black. So if you bleed Raiders, I guess that kind of makes sense. If you want to stay up to date on news, rumors, and all that good stuff, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because I'm telling y'all, I don't want you to miss anything the entire offseason. Let's now look at the Raiders' defensive line depth chart. As it stands right now, you got Crosby, you got Yannick Ngakoue, your top two edge rushers. Carl Nassib, Cleveland Ferrell, also with some backups. Malcolm Kuntz, expect a little bit more out of him. But the issue here for the Raiders is their interior. Not only are you probably going to be going to a 3-4, Jonathan Hankins, Quentin Jefferson, Gerald McCoy, Solomon Thomas, and Darius Philon are all free agents. So it's going to be really important for the Raiders to go out and get somebody in the draft. Maybe that's somebody like Jordan Davis. Maybe it's Devonta Wyatt. Maybe it's the kid out of UConn. So you can go a bunch of different ways, but I know one thing. If Maxx Crosby is out there on that football field, he is going to give you 100, 110% on every single snap. It is why I have always respected the hell out of 98. So now here's your chance to rank them, because I have noticed this a lot over the last 24 hours where Khalil Mack ends up going to the Los Angeles Chargers, and a lot of people are like, well, why didn't the Raiders go out and get Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack this, Khalil Mack that. Where does Crosby rank among other NFL pass rushers? A lot of people might not like what I'm about to say, but at this current moment, okay, at this current moment, from what I know, I believe Maxx Crosby is a better pass rusher than Khalil Mack. Now, if you're telling me Khalil Mack is 100% healthy, then that's a different story, because Khalil Mack in 2020 was better than Maxx Crosby. However, Maxx Crosby in 2021 was better than Khalil Mack, and I'm going to take the more frequent year over somebody like Mack, who last season missed what? I'm going to say 10 games, missed 10 games, and even when he was on the field wasn't as productive. So where would you rank Maxx Crosby? Is he a top 10 edge rusher? If your answer is yes, if you think he's top 5 edge rusher material, then the deal that he ended up getting is an absolute steal. Now, I don't know about y'all, I am always trying to provide more content, and in fact, I actually dropped a brand new video about an hour ago over on Locals, and it's my top 15 best bang for your buck free agents that the Raiders could go out and get. If you want to get more Raiders content, if you want to get more exclusive shows, if you just want to see me hanging out in my apartment talking Raiders, we can chat as well. You can become a local supporter. How do you do that? Join RaidersReport.locals.com. And for all of our local supporters, we're going to be doing a March Madness style of tournament. So if you become a monthly supporter, if you become a yearly supporter, I'm going to send you an email. If you haven't received your email yet, it's because you haven't checked your email. I sent them out this morning. And you're going to be entered for a chance to win a Rich Gannon signed helmet. Essentially what happens is this. Whoever comes in first in that March Madness tournament, you get a signed Rich Gannon helmet, and it looks like this. Major shout out to the Valley Brothers C&M on Facebook. We're also going to be doing a Marcus Allen signed helmet as well, but that's going to be maybe a week or 2 weeks away. So if you want to go ahead and get a chance to win that, if you go to chatsports.com/Valley Brothers, you can win it. But if you want to win this Rich Gannon helmet, you got to come in first place in my March Madness tournament. RaidersReport.locals.com. All right, y'all, so I decided to go live here on the Raiders Report because when there's breaking news, it is my job to keep you guys up to date on everything going on around the silver and black. Maxx Crosby, the 4th-round pick out of Eastern Michigan in 2019, who had 1 year left on his deal, signed a 4-year, $98.98 million contract extension with $53 million guaranteed dollars. I thought that he was going to get around this ballpark style of money, and now he's got 5 years left, essentially at about $104.2 million in total dollars and cents. Major shout out to Max. And before this cut wraps up, I want you to go down, show some love to the Condor, show some love to Mad Max, show some love to 98, because since the day that he has come in, since the day that he has put on that jersey, since the day that he has repped that shield, he has done everything in his human power to make sure that you know he's out there giving it his all. So show Max some love and go ahead and spam 98. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and give some shout-outs here to the nation watching right now, over 700 people. I got Phil, Michael Avila, Juan Hernandez, Raiderville 13, Juan Narjaro. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got T. Martin 24, Raymond Newberry, Elijah Green, Dan Bro Gaming, JC Too Clean, Jamie Lloyd, Raymond Newberry, Philip Reno, CJ CSR 1, Aaron Watson, Elijah, Rustin Long, Jay Miller. Keep those super chats, keep those comments coming in. What we're going to be doing now is just reacting to the Maxx Crosby news. So if you guys want to get your questions, your comments on the show. Hang on, I need a sip of beer. Cool. So we're going to answer some super chats here, and then I'm going to get into a Deshaun Watson discussion, because there has been a shit ton of comments already around Deshaun Watson. And as a reminder of some super chats here, if we get to every $5 super chat that we get in, I'm going to drink some beer. If we get to $100, we'll do some fireball shots. Every 500 likes, we'll do a fireball. So right now there's what? 700 people watching, only 186 likes. If we get 300 more likes, we're going to rip some fireball shots. And I know it says 1,000 in supers for a DOS boot, but I'm going to feel a little bit generous here. We're going to knock that down a little bit. I want to party. I want to have a good time. So if we get to 300 in supers, we're going to do a boot. Let's have a good time here. 300 in supers, we'll do a boot. All right, Jeremy's going to change it right now. Let's go to the first super chat coming in here. It's from Vic. Vic, cheers to you, my man. If you're over 21, crack open with me. I know David Zahn said he was drinking before the show started. I don't know where he is at right now. David, if you want to have a beer with me, you can FaceTime me right now. I know you got my number. If you just want to call, give me your thoughts, because I know you were a little bit upset that the Raiders didn't go out and try to trade for Khalil Mack. But Vic, my dude, I appreciate you. I know you're always watching, so cheers, my man. Let's go to Jules_Kid91. Congrats, Mad Max. Also, I do really want you guys to do this. Tag me. If you send in a super chat, I want you to tag me. Jesus, David. I want you to tag me and then post it on your Instagram story, and I'm going to share it, but also tag Mad Max, because I want to show Max that we have his back, because he's always been somebody that's repped. So if you send in a super chat, take a screenshot of it, tag me in it, and then I'm going to share it on my Instagram story as well. So tag me, and make sure you tag Mad Max. I just got a big-time super from David Zahn, and you know what? I'm ready. Somebody go out there. He wants a boot. David, you're going to get yourself a boot. Let's go to the next super chat. It's coming in here from Charles. Just win, baby. I wore it for a reason. I wore this hoodie for a reason, and I forget the man that sent me this hoodie, and he hasn't talked to me in a while. Just fill it up. David wants a boot. We're going to give him a boot. No, we got beers out there. I set the beers out there. We're good. Yeah. So, just win, baby. Go ahead and type JWB down in those comments. Let's go to Lil Home BXY23. Watson won't face charges. This mean anything for the Las Vegas Raiders? So I will be talking about this in depth in probably about 10 to 15 minutes from now. However, if all the rumors are true that the Indianapolis Colts want to go all in on a quarterback, here's the issue. I don't really think they're going to be able to go all in on Watson, because why would the Texans trade Watson in their division? If I was the Raiders, I would say, okay, give me as many draft picks as humanly possible from Indianapolis. Indy then gets Derek Carr, and if you can upgrade at quarterback, you absolutely try to upgrade at quarterback, and it sounds like Watson wants out. Why would Watson not want to try to go to the Raiders and compete? If he's a competitor, right now the AFC West is the place to do it. With Josh McDaniels, I mean, I would take Watson over Carr, but everything always has to be at the right price. Let's go to Charles. Do your dance, Crosby. I don't know. Is the Crosby dance just this? He also is always doing this one. He always does that after a sack, so there we go. There's my Crosby condor. My arms aren't nearly long enough like his. So, Charles, much love to you, bro. Let's go to Anthony Morales, $5 super chat. With this contract, how does this impact the cap and free agency? In terms of the cap, I don't have the exact numbers yet for the future, but his cap, as far as I'm concerned, from what I know right now, I still believe it is $4.2 million this season, and then every year after that, it's going to be about 23 and some change. So I haven't seen the numbers yet. I also know sometimes NFL teams, they break it up a little bit, but it has not been released yet. So from what I know, oh boy, here's the first boot of the day. Here we go. Boot of the day keeps the doctors away. Speaking of a boot, David Zahn, you want it, my brother? You got it. Dave, if you want to do one with me, I also saw just a super chat from Raider Drew 400 got retracted. That's not good. What happened, man? If you want to get that question in, please go ahead and do so. David, if you wanna do a boot with me, just hit me up on my phone. Just give me a call and we'll get the party started. Let's go to those other super chats. That way it gives David enough time. David, if you don't want to, hey, it's all good, my man. Let's go to Jonathan O. How does this impact Waller getting a big extension this offseason? So I know Waller, wanted his extension, and this doesn't really impact him. Waller knew, and every person out there should have known that, okay, it was going to be Crosby first. It was always going to be Crosby first, and then they were going to figure out everything else. With this being said, I know Waller's probably going to be looking at $16 million. He wants to be the highest paid tight end in the National Football League, and when he's making about $7 million per year over the next 2 years, him going out and getting a new agent, Waller will end up getting his deal sooner rather than later. So I went live here on the, David said he's grabbing food and he's about 10 minutes away. So David, here's the thing. I'm going to do the boot now. If you want to come on and chug a beer with me, do a shot with me when you get home about 10 minutes from now, just call me on the phone, or if you want to call me on Instagram, then we'll do it. All right. Also, I do not own a boot from David. All right, brother. Well, if you just want to take a shot with me, we'll get that going. So I decided to come live here on the Raiders Report because they went ahead and they extended Maxx Crosby to a 4-year, $98.98 million deal, which now I'm realizing is 98.98. Crosby's the number 98. That just came into my mind. $53 million guaranteed. I love what Max brings to the table, and I was excited about it. So let's go ahead, and we're going to celebrate here. We got 945 people watching, 277 likes. Once we get to 500 likes, we're going to go ahead. We're going to rip some shots of Fireball. I'm ready to party. I know it's a Friday, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And in fact, actually, it's 5 o'clock in the East Coast right now. I didn't realize it was almost 5 o'clock even here. Shit. So I'm going to do a boot because David Zahn wanted a boot. And if you guys just want to keep getting those questions or comments in, keep using hashtag Raiders. While I'm chugging my beer, you're going to hear Jeremy Chugs in the background. He's going to do his best to break down all the questions. And then after this, we are going to get into a Deshaun Watson discussion because Watson is technically free to go wherever he wants right now. So, all right, let's get that boot going. Start spamming boot, and let's get to 500 likes on this bad boy. If you're at home with me, make sure you're drinking with me because this is a hell of a boot. All right, here we go. Jeremy, take it away.
Let's go, Spam Raiders, baby. Let's go, Mitchell Rins. Let's go.
You answer questions.
They're all spamming glug, 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 chug, chug, chug. Let's go. This is how Raider Nation does it, baby. Let's go, Raiders. Thick Diglett. We'll get to your question right after this. Mitch is about to finish his first boot. Remember, every $300, we're going to fill this bad boy up, and somebody from Chat Sports is going to drink it. And Mitch, just like that, takes it down. That's how Raider Nation does it.
All right, they got to be warmer. Boots going forward, got to be warmer. Oh, my God. That was terrible. That was so cold. All right, guys, sorry. That boot did not go down nearly as well. Let's go to my... Not microwave it next time. All right, $100 super, and Chase is going to do some shots with us. So, oh, shotguns. All right, shotguns and some shots. Let's go to my burner account, Thick Diglett. Trade Carr for Brandon Smith, 23rd. Jeremy, you got to stop laughing. Trade Carr for Brandon Smith. That's the right tackle from Indianapolis. 23 and 24 first-round picks. Then use the 2 picks to trade for Watson, well as 2 of our FRPs, so 4 firsts in total. So you're saying Brandon Smith, who's one of the best right tackles in all of football, you're going to take the first-round picks from Indianapolis in 23 and 24. So then we would give the 23 and 24 to the Houston Texans for Watson, as well as 2 of our first-round picks. So you're saying our 2023, our 2022, the Colts 2023, and their 2024. So that's 4 first-round picks for Watson. I mean, honestly, I think it's going to take at least 3 first-rounders to go out and get them. No doubt about it. I mean, when you think about the fact that Russell Wilson went for 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 3 players, Watson is younger, and he's going to want to go for more than that. So, to be honest with you, I like this idea. And if you have the opportunity to get Watson, I think you got to go ahead and do it. So, Thick Diglett, appreciate the question. Let's go to Raider Drew 400. I got some Seawood whiskey. Let's do a shot. Congrats, Mad Max Raiders. All right, you know what, Raider? I'm ready. You ready? Are you ready? So you just got to take a picture of this, post it on IG, post it on Twitter. What are you doing?
All right, Raider Nation. There's big ships and there's little ships. The best kind of ships are friendships. Raiders!
Jeremy's always good for a word or two. There's no doubt about it. Jeremy Chugs on the mic. If you guys want to see Jeremy Chugs do a shot of Fireball, let's get to 500 likes. Jeremy's going to do a shot once we get to 500 likes. Come on, y'all. I know you can do it. And we're going to try to break a Guinness World Record, which, okay, the most Raiders in a comment section. I mean, I'll be honest, this is going to be a tall task because we've had shows with almost 10,000 people watching. But I know we can do it. Spam Raiders, we're going to try to break a record here. I'm going to go into my YouTube analytics. I need every single person to type Raiders one time, copy it, and then Control-V. If you don't know what that means, Dad, it means copy and paste is essentially what we're doing. So Spam Raiders, we're going to try to break a record here. Guinness is in the house, but that's because St. Patty's Day is this week. So go ahead and start spamming Raiders. We got Ark H, Brian Kleeman, Ricka Tang, Josh Childs, Daniel Flores, Raider Kurt. Keep them coming. Bob Olson, PG 2869. Raider Trucking, Josh Snyder, Chef Caesar, Raider Nation for life. Daniel Flores, Daniel Keenan says, we have 38 players under contract. How the hell are we going to fill the top 53? We'll make it work. The Raiders will make it work. That I promise you. We're getting close, Jeremy says. I don't know if he's talking about himself or if he's talking about the record. I'm not really sure where we're going. We got Juan Hernandez, Preston Kendrick, Lighty Dude, ANBU Gento, B-Rabe, Apodicat, 222, BB2, Sergio Raciz, Just a Raider Fan, POV. What a name. We got, and then Mike Quilicki, Raider Mike. Appreciate everyone watching right now. Keep on spamming Raiders. We are 100 likes away from producer Jeremy showing his head, this one, and doing a shot of Fireball here on the Raiders Report. So if you're wondering why we're drinking, if you're wondering why we're having a good time here, I wanted to celebrate a little bit for Maxx Crosby coming on. David's on one of the boot, and David, you got yourself a boot. If you want to see another boot, we got to get the 300 in super, so we're about 150 away. Every 500 likes, Fireball shot. Every $100 that we reach equals a Fireball shot. We need 80 more likes, even though I know you guys like 420. But then we're going to go ahead and do that. We're also going to be breaking down a discussion around Deshaun Watson because actually he just tweeted out, when you stand on the truth, the Lord will free you. That is literally 20 seconds ago from Deshaun Watson from his own Twitter account. I know a lot of y'all will not like the discussion around a quarterback trade. However, it is something to be had, especially if the Colts do want to go all in on Derek Carr. I think the discussion now goes from if you can upgrade a quarterback you absolutely have to try to do that. So, oh man, we got James Morales Photography sending in a super chat. James, I don't know if you have a super chat, if you have an Instagram account, if you're ever down to take some Raiders pictures, if you need a model, I might not be the guy, but I probably know some people to do it. But I don't know. Jeremy's saying, hey, you need a model for some photography? You want OnlyFans? We got OnlyFans. But much love to you, my dude. I appreciate your super chat. I'm going to take a shot of Fireball for 20s. But if you want to link up sometime, take some photography, pictures. My girlfriend, she's always trying to get holiday cards, Easter pictures, pictures of Chuck. Let me know, DM me, we'll set something up. Let's go to John. Why not trade Carr straight up for Watson? Well, there's a few reasons here. One reason, Derek Carr for Deshaun Watson straight up is not nearly close to a fair trade for Houston. Houston's going to want a lot more than that. Second, Houston wants picks because the Houston Texans are not going to win football games as it stands right now. So for the Texans, they know, okay, Derek Carr's a good quarterback, but Derek on that team right now, that doesn't really help them out. They want to go ahead. They want to build through the draft. They want to have young players because that's the direction that team is going to go ahead and go for. But if Houston wanted to do Derek Carr straight up for Deshaun Watson, I'd be down for it, though. Would the Carr family want to go back to Houston? I don't know. They didn't treat David Carr very well, but that's because they didn't put an offensive line around him, and I definitely think he ended up getting the raw end of the deal there. There's no doubt about it. So we went live here on the Raiders Report because Maxx Crosby signed a contract extension for 4 years, $98.98 million with $53 million guaranteed. All we're doing right now is interacting down in the comments, having a good time, talking a little bit. I broke down the Crosby deal and everything that there is, and I believe it's already on the YouTube channel, and if not, it's going to be on the YouTube channel very shortly. What's going to be happening here coming up is we're going to be breaking down some ideas, some conversations around Deshaun Watson, and whether or not the Raiders should at least pursue him, or if the Indianapolis Colts make a trade for Derek Carr, which the amount of reporters that are throwing it out there, it actually means that Indianapolis is making calls, and they're going to do everything in their power to make it happen. And if it goes down, then what do the Raiders need to do to go ahead and bring in Deshaun Watson? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to break that stuff down. And Jeremy's saying 600 likes to talk to Deshaun Watson. Here's the thing, Jeremy. I don't know if they want me to do it. Like, I know y'all are loyal to DC. Let's do this. How about this? Would you rather have Deshaun Watson or Derek Carr? Type C for Carr or type W for Watson, because that's the next talking point. Because if you don't even want Deshaun Watson, then okay, then maybe we don't even talk about it. But I really think, and I know a lot of people are very loyal to DC, and you absolutely should be. He's been an incredible player, arguably the best quarterback that the Raiders have ever had. Great leader, this and that. But if you could tell me that you honestly don't think that Watson is a better option than DC, I really question your ability to be able to watch football. And I know that the 2020 season, the Texans didn't win a lot of games. However, the Houston Texans roster from top to bottom has been much worse than what the Raiders roster has been around Derek Carr. And I know the Raiders organization has been a headache, right, in the drafting, free agency, and trades. But the worst team in the NFL right now in terms of what the front office does is the Houston Texans. So what I want you guys to do right now, go ahead, get some comments in, and let me know, DC for Derek Carr or DW for Deshaun Watson. Or if you're a big fan of the computer system Watson, you can also go ahead and type DW. Let me know what you're thinking. We got Hugo Chavez typing DC. Brian Johnson typing DC. Kyle Golden typing W. Reese, Deshaun Watson. Greg Goodrow, Deshaun Watson. What up, David Zahn? See you down in the comments. Over 1,000 people watching. We are 25 likes away. 25 likes away from Jeremy doing a shot of some Fireball. Also, major shout out to Chase Sr. for my birthday, which was about a month ago. He got me these Raiders replica, we'll say stadium replica coasters, they're freaking legit. So I love using them, even though I don't know if I've ever set a drink on them yet because I kind of just look at them and they're pretty dope. But actually, wait, watch this. Beer going on the coaster. Very first time. Everyone, let me know who's a better quarterback. DC for Derek Carr, DW for Deshaun Watson, and you hear that? 500 likes. 500 likes. Let's get it going. Jeremy Chugg's coming on here. That was almost too perfect of timing. So my boss, Brett, walked into the room, and he just threw a shot glass at Jeremy. As soon as we got to 500 likes. So Chugs, come on here. You pour your own shot. You're a big boy. I know you can go ahead and do it. So everyone say hi to Jeremy. He's the one pushing all the buttons in the background. And funny story, after work today, Jeremy has to go to his girlfriend's parents and have dinner. So let's get Jeremy really effed up.
Shabbat Shalom, Raider Nation.
Mahalo? What? I don't even know what that is. I don't speak Chinese. No, I know. I'm kidding. Oh, my God. I know. You never know in today's world. You can't say what you want, right? All right, y'all. So what's going to happen out of the 1,000 people that are watching? We're going to go ahead. We're going to get ready to break down some of the latest going on around the National Football League. We got Alan says, who's Jeremy's team? Can we trust his ass? Can you trust Jeremy? Yes, he's a good guy. Though, what's funny is, can you trust his ass? I don't know. I know you can't trust Coops. That I know for a fact. But his ass, yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about at this point. Now, Jeremy's a good guy. He grew up in Houston. I believe he's a Texans fan, but I also think he's an Eagles fan. And he's also a Ravens, Steelers, and every other NFL team fan as far as I'm concerned. So we went live here, though, y'all, for the news around Maxx Crosby getting his contract extension. What do you got to say?
My head says Texans, Eagles, but my heart says Raiders!
Love it. Absolutely love it. So we went live here on the Raiders Report for the Maxx Crosby contract extension. What's happening now is because we're getting a lot of questions around Deshaun Watson. And yes, Rustin Long says glug, 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 glug. Yes, Jeremy's the one that started the glug, 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 glug around here. And for those that don't know, it's essentially when I drink water, when I drink beer, when I do anything, Jeremy's the guy in the headset that says glug, glug, glug in the background. So it's kind of make sure that nothing's silent. So with Maxx Crosby getting that 4-year, $98.9 million, that's why we ended up going live. I know he had 1 year left on his deal, the 4th-round pick out of Eastern Michigan, the dude that I've been talking about for basically a month, getting set to get that contract extension. And when the Raiders moved all that money around for Kenyon Drake, for Colton Miller, I put out a tweet that said, Maxx Crosby contract extension loading. And actually, I DM'd Max today, and I was like, so is it going to happen? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say he didn't tell me, but I knew it was going to happen, and you can check out my Twitter receipts for the proof. LC Raiders, spamming Raiders down in the comments. LC, much love to you. Coming up now here on the Raiders Report. Oh, we're going to show it? Perfect. LC, I know you're always watching. Much love to you. And again, guys, if you send in a super chat, what we're going to be doing here is if you could tag me on Instagram. Also, make sure you tag Max because that's why we went live today. I want to show Max that, we got his back, and we're always going to have his back here in the silver and black. So what you guys are going to see here is I'm going to be breaking down the latest going on around Deshaun Watson and whether or not I actually just saw Drew Hunted on Twitter. I gotta do something. It's getting wild on the Raiders Report is what I'm going to tweet out. It's getting Raiders Report. I can't type and talk, guys. Sorry, just give me 1 sec. Alrighty, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be talking about Deshaun Watson. We're going to be talking about the NFL news and the implications if the Indianapolis Colts do actually decide to pull off a trade for DC. That's where we're going to go to. Jeremy's giving the thumbs up, at least I hope that's his thumb. So coming up right now, Deshaun Watson discussion here on the Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report Coming up here on today's show, we're going to be talking about the latest news around Deshaun Watson and how it could potentially impact the Las Vegas Raiders. So, I've been getting asked a ton, Mitch, should Las Vegas go out and try to get Deshaun Watson? It's been a topic that I've talked about on numerous occasions. Before I start talking about Watson, let me make one thing clear. I love DC. DC is my guy. However, if you can upgrade at quarterback, you have to do it in the National Football League. Now, the reason why we're talking about Deshaun Watson is because he's got no criminal charges coming against him. The grand jury declined to indict Watson on Friday, and the Harris County prosecutor concludes no criminal charges, nothing. Watson ended up tweeting out as well that when you stand on the truth, the Lord will set you free. He does have a few civil cases to go, but there's multiple reports now that the trade market is going to start heating up around Deshaun, and it should. I mean, when he's on the field, you can make an argument that he's a top 5 quarterback. He can run, he can pass, he can do a lot of different things, and I understand that he did not play in 2021. But you know what? In 2022, he had 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He had what? I think like 421 rushing yards, led the NFL with 4,800 passing yards. That was in only 16 games. And I know a lot of people like to bring up the fact of, Deshaun Watson hasn't dealt with a lot of stuff that DC has dealt with. To be honest with you, I think the Houston Texans are a worse-run franchise than what the Las Vegas Raiders are. So here's my question to everyone down in the comments, and you can put Raiders, or you can actually go ahead and put any NFL team, because there's going to be people out there that are like, the Raiders aren't going to trade for him. Cool. All good. What do you think, though? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So when you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, I want you to scroll on down and let me know who trades for Deshaun Watson. Now, Adam Schefter went ahead and tweeted this out. The trade market for Deshaun Watson now is expected to ramp up quickly. Houston will be opening to moving him, and multiple teams are expected to be interested, per league source. So this came out literally right after everything going on with Deshaun Watson. And the reason why so many people are going to be interested is because he's young. His deal realistically at like $34 million a year over the next 4 years. I'd rather pay Deshaun Watson $34 million than Derek Carr $34 million. I know that for a fact. So his stats in 2020, 70.2% completion percentage, 4,823 yards. That led the National Football League. 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a QBR of 70.5 on a roster that I would argue was much worse than what Derek Carr has dealt with over the past 2 seasons. His 2020 rushing stats, 90 carries, 444 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was also able to pick up 31 first downs with his legs. Watson gives you a whole nother ability that a lot of other teams are going to be craving. And if you're the Raiders, no disrespect to DC, but you know that Derek's going to be the 4th best quarterback in your division. If you go out and get Deshaun Watson, I think you have an argument now he's the 2nd best. There's going to be people that argue Wilson, but I would still put Watson. If I was building a team, I would have Patrick Mahomes 1, Deshaun Watson at 2, Russell Wilson at 3, and then Justin Herbert at 4. With the amount of holes that the Raiders have, if you want to go ahead and pay a quarterback $34 million a year, I'm going to rather pay Watson $34 than DC. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we are also on Rumble. And if you want more free and uncensored content, sports, news, politics, all the techie stuff, the business, then follow us on Rumble right now. The link is below. It's also going to be in the description of today's video. It's rumble.com/Raiders Report. If you appreciate the content we provide, if you want me to provide more Raiders content going on in the future, then you got to go ahead and give us a follow at that link below. Rumble.com/Raiders Report. Let's go to this tweet here from Sarah Barshop. Did I get that right? I don't know. In a statement on Deshaun Watson, NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy said the league has been closely monitoring all developments in the matter, which remains under review of the personal conduct policy. So that came out today, March 11th at 5:01 p.m. Eastern Time. And when you talk about Deshaun Watson, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there, well, why are we even talking about this? The only reason, and I mean the only reason why I'm talking about this is because the Indianapolis Colts, okay, have said multiple times that they are looking for a quarterback. They traded away Carson Wentz. He's now with the Commanders. If Indianapolis is to say to go all in on Derek Carr, And I get it. They don't have a first-round pick this year, but if the Indianapolis Colts throw a first-round pick next year, they want to throw their 2024 first-round pick. They also throw in a few extra picks here. The Raiders have extra picks, then they can go ahead and ship that off to Houston. That puts this team in a better position to win football games, and I will miss DC, no doubt about it. And I know he said, oh, he's only going to play for the Raiders. I'm willing to call his bluff on that, because if that means you can get Deshaun, you get a top 5 quarterback, you have to go ahead and do it. So here you go. Let me know down in the comments section. Type Y for yes, or I want you to go ahead and type your N for no. Should the Raiders go out and trade for Deshaun Watson? Personally, I say yes, because I know that Watson wants out of Houston. I understand that he has a no-trade clause, but Indianapolis isn't going to be able to trade for Watson because they're in the same division. Maybe Houston's dumb enough to trade him inside the division. I don't see that happening, but I also know that if Watson doesn't want to play there, you can also potentially get him at a discount. If Russell Wilson went for 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 3 players, if you're telling me right now, if Houston was like, all right, we don't really want the players, we want more draft capital, cool. You trade Derek Carr to the Indianapolis Colts for, let's say, their second-round pick, their first-round pick this year, and maybe they throw in an extra pick. Then for Las Vegas, you're able to toss in your first-round pick, the first-round pick that Indianapolis gave you, a few extra picks, and it ends up landing you Watson. I'm all in, man. If as long as he's going to be out there on the field in 2022, you have a very good quarterback for the next 4 years at $34 million, which, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty reasonable. I'd rather pay him $34 million. And then you have somebody who's under 26 years old, probably going to be your franchise quarterback for, let's say, 10 to 12 years from now, which, with the AFC West, that's what I want. So with the fact that, again, no criminal charges here coming for Deshaun Watson, and there's still some other things that are going to end up, happening. There's going to be probably more news and rumors that end up coming. But Watson, as it stands right now, is a free man. And this is something from Field Yates, which I actually have a graphic that shows this a little bit better, but it's okay. We'll break this down from Field. It says Deshaun Watson's contract would be as such for a team acquiring him in a trade. It'd be a $35 million salary in 2022. It would be a $35 million cap hit. So essentially, I think this is actually a little bit confusing. So this is what it is. It's $35 million this year. It's $37 million next year, and $32 million, and then $32 million the year after that, which comes out to 4 years, $136 million, which is an average of $34 million a year for Deshaun Watson. That's good value for a quarterback of his stature. So if you guys want to stay in the know with everything going on around the silver and black, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications, because if the Raiders do pull off a big trade, if there's a big-time signing, if something else happens, we're going to do our best here to keep you guys up to date. So make sure you don't miss anything. Hit that subscribe button, because if you do miss a trade, I'm going to go ahead and say shame on you. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and give some shout-outs here. We got 1,000 people watching. Type Y for yes, N for no. And then if you want to get your questions or comments on the show, go ahead and super chat. If not, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go back to my Friday regular programming. I was literally at the gym mid-lift, saw the contract extension news go down around Maxx Crosby, and I was like, well, looks like I'm going into work. That's what I promised y'all, right? So should the Raiders trade for Deshaun Watson, I want you to go ahead and type Y for yes, or I want you to go ahead and type N for no. Let me know what y'all are thinking. Let me know your thoughts on this. Should the Raiders trade for Watson? Let's go ahead and start giving some shout-outs here. We got Josh Childs typing yes, Troy Jones, Rand, Ray, K. Breezy, Peak Boogie, King Higgins, Elijah Green typing yes. JT says no. Alexander, very clever. You almost got me. We got Jeff Snyder, Juan Hernandez typing no. I mean, if you're going to type your N for no, at least give me a reason why. I mean, if you don't think Watson's better than Carr, then I can understand you typing no. But I can't fathom that. I can't understand a person telling me that Deshaun Watson's not better than Derek Carr. Let's go to Skittles Z69. Appreciate the super chat. And it says, remind me again how the 2017 college football championship with Clemson versus Bama ended. Run it back, Watson and Renfro. I mean, that's not the reason why I would go out and get Watson, but I also know Watson and Renfro, they can make it work together. And when the amount of, here's the thing. Like, giving Carr a whole bunch of money with the amount of holes that the Raiders still have on offense and on defense. Again, I put out a video today on Locals about the 15 best bang for your buck players because when I realistically think about it, the Raiders are not good enough as a team. They're probably the worst team in the AFC West right now to pay a quarterback the type of money that they're about to pay DC. I mean, think about it, y'all. We need a starting left guard, a starting right tackle, 2 linebackers, 2 wide receivers, probably another safety. You need a defensive tackle. Is that 9 guys? I'm not keeping track. And you need a starting cornerback. Like, we need a lot of other pieces to go ahead and start throwing that type of money at a quarterback that I'm sorry I just don't seeing as being top 10. If you can go ahead and get a top 10, you get a top 5 quarterback, then you can get by not having as much elite talent as the Raiders have, especially what's going on right now in the AFC West. So here you go. Super Chat Challenge. If we don't get anything else, I'm going to head out of here. We're what? $14 short of doing a fireball shot. So Carr's happy feet equals nightmares from David Zahn. I mean, I don't know if it's totally on him, which that's the other thing. Like, I hate when people are like, Mitch, you don't like Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr a lot. He's a hell of a quarterback, and I owe a drink for Skittles, so hang on. Derek is a hell of a quarterback. It's just he's not top 10. And, like, that's the area where people need to get through their head. However, the offensive line last season was not good. They did play better at the end of the season. In fact, I actually thought the pass-blocking offensive line by the Raiders was probably more middle than being one of the worst pass-blocking units in the league. But we have seen that sometimes he gets happy feet, which I think anybody would, right? If you keep getting hit all the time, you are going to get happy feet. And with bad coaching in terms of Greg Olsen play calling, bad red zone offense, that goes on Carr. But I also know this. I've seen Carr for 3 years in a row play really good the first half of the season and then struggle late half. I get the fact that the Raiders made the playoffs, but the Raiders made the playoffs because they were a good team and the defense played well the final 4 games. So let's be honest. And Jacobs ran the ball well. Let's go to Anthony Morales. Everyone wants Watson, but he hasn't played in almost 2 years. Can't really say he still has it after all this off-the-field issues. I mean, if Watson wasn't practicing, if Watson was like totally away from the game itself, I could understand this logic maybe. However, he was still at practice. He was still getting reps, and I get it. Even if he's been away from football for a year, okay, I mean, his athletic ability alone, his ability to throw the football, that stuff's not just going to go away. I'm not going to say it's like riding a bike and getting those in-game reps are good, but to me, Deshaun Watson is just that much better than Derek Carr. Like, there's only a handful of quarterbacks that I really truly believe are difference makers. Patrick Mahomes, difference maker. Josh Allen, difference maker. Aaron Rodgers, difference maker. And then I really truly think that you can start throwing in the discussion of Deshaun Watson can be a difference maker. Russell Wilson can be a difference maker. But in terms of an elite quarterback under the age of 26, the top 3 quarterbacks under the age of 26 are Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. That's the truth. And in today's NFL, you need to have one of these top guys if you want to compete. And now for the Raiders, if you want to compete in the AFC West, you're going to need an elite quarterback. It is simple as that. No doubt about it. Not only do you have the worst quarterback in the division, you have the worst roster from top to bottom. The roster needs to improve, and it can improve in free agency, and it can improve with good trades, and it can improve in good drafts. And I really like the overall staff that Josh McDaniels and the squad has put together. But if your quarterback, which with this roster right now, Derek Carr in this roster will not win a Super Bowl. That's the goal year in and year out. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson with this roster can win a Super Bowl, but I'm hoping that your chances are better with Watson at $34 million a year over the next 4 years instead of paying Derek Carr basically $34 million if you want to give him a contract extension over the next 4 years. So what I want to know, this is a weigh-in Jeremy just made up. With Watson, do the Raiders win the division? Why for yes and for no? As it stands right now, I would still say no. However, your chances are better because he gives you a better chance to win from top to bottom, and I really, truly believe that. So why for yes and for no? I think the real question really comes down to, do you think Derek Carr can win a Super Bowl? If your answer is yes, then don't listen to me. If your answer is no, then you move on from him because no team should ever go into the season and be like, you know what, we're okay not trying to win the Super Bowl. That scares me, and I really, truly worry if the fact they just gave Crosby his extension, if you go out and give Waller his money, and then if you go ahead and pay Carr, will you have enough money, and will you be able to fill these other holes to be able to make a more complete team around DC? Because DC's good, but paying a fringe top 10 quarterback elite money, it's not going to help you win football games. Let's go to LI Raider 312. Also, I just saw we crossed 200, so I'll do my shot of fireball here in a sec. End of the trade. Is Watson superior? Hell yeah. Just worry about what Vegas could do to him given his past situation. Hang on a second. I understand Vegas, but here's one thing that gets overblown. Vegas right now, people are like, oh no, players in Vegas, whether it's been Raiders players like, I don't know, Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett, Jacobs getting in trouble here and there, and then you had the whole Alvin Kamara thing during the Pro Bowl. Vegas is definitely a place with temptation, no doubt about it. However, every city in the entire world for a young millionaire has temptation. You just have to be a little bit smarter. You just have to have the right things in place. I'm not going to worry about what could potentially happen off the field because as far as I know, Deshaun Watson is better have his head on straight because he's going to be under a microscope. And I actually think Deshaun is a good guy. I will stand up here and say people who know Deshaun Watson that I know will back him up and say that he's a good guy. I'm all in on Deshaun Watson if you can get him. Let's go to James Morales Photography. Personally, I'm still waiting to see what Carr can do with a solid coaching staff. I just didn't believe in Gruden. But yeah, if we can get on an elite mobile passing quarterback, then how can we pass that up? I mean, I was actually also with you in the whole idea of, I wasn't in on Gruden either. I thought Gruden was a big-name guy. And the thing that I always said about Gruden, if you can't change, you're not going to be able to adapt in today's NFL. Just like anything in life. If you can't deal with change, you're not going to be able to adapt. When I first started at Chat Sports, we were a Facebook-only company. Guess what? Facebook changed its algorithm. We had to change or else we weren't going to make it. So we went to YouTube, and I think we made a pretty good choice. And if anything happens to YouTube, now we're on Locals, now we're on Rumble, now we're going to be on other platforms as well. Why? It's the just in case. To me, being on different platforms is like being mobile, which is what Deshaun Watson's about. James, we hit 200 in Super Chats. I appreciate you all for watching the show right now. Hang on a second. And Jeremy just whispered in my ear, we are $82 in Super Chats away from a boot. And if we get to that, Jeremy's going to come up here. He's going to do a boot. I'm going to do some shots as well. But if we don't get anything else, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to Friday. I might try to go to the gym again, though. I don't know how that's going to work out. Maybe I should just try to go sweat it out a little bit. But I was actually walking Chuck this morning, and it's kind of a funny story. So, I pop my YouTube pops up, and hang on a second. All right, so David Zahn wants to take some shots. So, David, hang on a second. I'm going to call you right now. David, you want to do some shots with me? Hell yeah. If you guys want to do some shots, go ahead, give me a follow on Mitchell Rents 365, and we'll get it going. So the guy that you always see sending in the big super chats, I'm calling him right now. Hopefully David answers, or else I don't know what to do. So David, I'm calling you. Answer your phone. There we go. David Zahn. Here, wait. You guys have, here's the GOAT. The guy who has sent in the biggest super chats in Chat Sports history. There he is. It's David Zahn. If you ever see... Oh, wait, here. Do it again. Do it again. There we go. So if you guys see David Zahn in a chat, hang on, I got to get my fireball ready. Just know that the party is about to get started. So, David, what's going to happen is this. I got my fireball. I'm going to put you up on screen, and when you take your shot, I'm going to go ahead and take my shot. So, everyone at home, we're drinking with David Zahn. You can even see Jeremy a little bit. There you go. There's Jeremy. All right, Dave, when you're ready, brother, you go. All right, let's do it. Cheers, man. Appreciate you.
L'chaim.
Appreciate David Zahn. Appreciate the nation watching. We went live for a Maxx Crosby contract extension. Dude, I appreciate you. We talk all the time, and we got to link up, though. I know you're in Jersey. We got to link up. We got to figure out something. You want to come to Chat Sports? Okay. You want to come to Chat Sports, or do you want me to come to you? All right, well, I think if we could figure out a way to get you to chat sports on a show for... All right, well, I'll text you after this, and then we'll figure out a way to get you to chat sports. All right, brother. See you. All right, guys, major shout-out to David Zahn for always supporting the show. Again, for those of you that don't know, we always talk about, having a good time interacting with people. And David one show, I don't know if he was just trying to have a good time like he was doing, but he sent in a $1,200 super chat. And I told him, David, we'll get you to come here to Chat Sports. We'll do something for a game. A lot of issues with COVID, other stuff popped up, so that kind of got in the way of it. So if you guys see David Zahn on a random Raiders Report show one day, just don't be surprised and get your drinking boots on. So we went live for the Maxx Crosby contract extension. He got 4-year, $98.98 million, which I love that it's 98.98. I just can't get over that. $53 million guaranteed. He did have 1 year left on his deal, the 4th-round pick out of Eastern Michigan. What's going to happen now is, y'all, if you have questions or comments that you want to get on the show, let's do #Raiders, or you can go ahead and super chat. I'm going to answer questions for the next, let's say, 5 minutes. If I don't get any more super chats, then I'm going to head out. I'm going to do whatever Fridays are supposed to be when you don't have to work every day. But we'll go ahead and do that. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to answer questions, and if you go ahead and super chat, we'll put you on the show. Let's go to God of all Texas. You live in Texas. I do. Hit me up in Dallas. Not too much drama done with drama. NFL might still suspend him. I think you're talking about Watson. You're not wrong there. Where the NFL, if they wanted to, they still potentially could suspend him, though I do think it would actually be a bad look considering the fact that if he's innocent, in terms of the court finds him innocent, then I think the NFL would look pretty bad by doing that. Let's go to Mad Vet Woodworking. So now we get a right tackle in free agency. The top right tackle in free agency, I would say, is Morgan Moses. In terms of the best bang for your buck guys, in terms of that, I would say David Quessenberry from the Titans is somebody to keep in mind. Also, Cornelius Lucas is a name that I like a lot, also out of Washington. Let's go to Jared Teakin-Wack. 3-team trade idea. All right, hang on a second. Carr and a first to the Colts. Raiders first. Nelson, Smith, and Leonard to Texans. Watson to the Raiders. So you're saying the Houston Texans would get... So here's the issue, okay? I love the creativity. Absolutely love it. The only way a 3-team trade goes down, and this is what I want you all to hear, the only 3-team trade that goes down in the NFL in the next few days would be Raiders, 49ers, Colts. Somehow Jimmy Garoppolo goes to the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts send picks to the 49ers. Maybe the 49ers send some stuff to the Raiders. That's the only 3-team trade. I don't know how it works exactly. Personally, I think the Colts and the 49ers would just trade. That'd be the smarter thing to do. The reason why this ain't going to happen is because why would the Indianapolis Colts trade 3 of their best players to a division rival? Not that the Texans wouldn't want those guys, but the Texans also want draft picks. And you're not going to get Nelson, Smith, and Leonard. Sorry. Let's go to Max. Dream offseason and draft pick. Well, if you're telling me a realistic dream offseason, I would say if the Raiders could go out and get somebody like DJ Chark as your top receiver, go out and get a right tackle in terms of money like Morgan Moses, get a left guard like Ted Karras would be somebody to keep in mind. I know people want big-name players, but the Raiders need to spend smart. You're able to get Jordan Davis at defensive tackle, linebackers, cornerbacks. How about this? If you want to hear more names of who the Raiders could go out and get, go ahead and check out my best bang for your buck free agents on Locals, RaidersReport.locals.com. Let's go to Chef Caesar, Raider Nation for life. Stop the Watson BS. How about we trade for DK Metcalf? DK Metcalf is a good name, and this might be an unpopular opinion. I would rather trade for Brandon Cooks. And the only reason why I'm going to say that is because I believe Brandon Cooks, you probably give up a 3rd-round pick for him, $13.4 million, would be a better fit in what McDaniels and the Raiders like to do on offense. The highest yards per catch Brandon Cooks has ever had is 16.6 yards back in 2017 with New England. DK's a hell of a player, hell of a receiver. However, he's going to want a brand new deal. He's going to want over $20 million a year. So you got to give up a 1st-round pick for him, and then you also got to go ahead and get him $20 million. Raiders have too many holes to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go one more question here. It's from B. Rabe, and if we don't get any more supers, I'm going to head out of here. It is, I'm saying it now, we get beat out trying to get Watson, and DC will be our starting quarterback. I mean, that's obviously the most likely thing to happen, right? I mean, the Raiders keeping Derek Carr, no doubt, most likely thing. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Josh McDaniels said this, that Derek Carr would be he would be absolutely the starting quarterback week 1. Josh McDaniels also said a lot of other things that he didn't keep true. If you can get better at QB, you got to go ahead and do it. All right, y'all, we went live for the Maxx Crosby news. The way that I'm going to wrap this show up is this. I put out a video today on locals. I just saw it. At RaidersReport.locals.com. If you want to go ahead and check out that video, it's my top 15 best bang for your buck players to go out and get a free agency. If you want to join a March Madness style of tournament, if we could go to that weigh-in, that'd be great. Where if you come in first place, you're going to get a signed Rich Gannon helmet. So remember, March Madness style of tournament for local supporters only. Winner gets a Rich Gannon signed helmet. Here's what the picture of it looks like. That's what you get. You can go ahead and you can join at RaidersReport.locals.com. That's how you end up getting the deal. That's how you end up getting more content. But you're not just entering a March Madness tournament. You're going to get an extra live video every single week. You're going to get 2 extra videos every week. You're going to get me interacting with y'all even more because that's where I've shifted my focus. I know I used to always tell you guys DM me on Instagram, but I talk to people now on locals. You support me, I support you kind of thing. So seriously, join RaidersReport.locals.com. Let's go to Rashissimo Locke. What up, brother? Crosby is better than Mack. At this current moment, I would agree with that. From what I saw in 2021, Maxx Crosby was better than Khalil Mack. I'm not saying he's going to be better this season. That I do not know yet. If Khalil Mack is 100% healthy, I still think Khalil Mack is a better player than Maxx. However, what Maxx gives you on and off the field, what Maxx brings to that locker room, what Maxx Crosby is as a human being is everything that I think you want to be able to teach your son, your daughter, where if you work hard, anything's possible, and that's the type of building block that you need to be able to build around a team. That's also the type of people that McDaniels and a lot of those other Patriots guys love to have. So we went live here on the Raiders Report for the breaking news of the Las Vegas Raiders went ahead and they extended Maxx Crosby to a 4-year, $98.98 million deal with $53 million in guaranteed money. I appreciate every single person that tuned in. I appreciate every single person that ended up watching today's video. To make sure you never miss anything going on around the silver and black, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. And then I'm going to be going live Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, unless any other breaking news happens. But with free agency, I can promise you, there's going to be a lot of breaking news that happens over the next few days. And if a Derek Carr trade happens, if any trade happens, we'll keep you up to date. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Much love. And a major shout out to the Condor. Go ahead and start spamming 98 down in the comments section.